Alright, so today I thought I would make a video about my suicide story. And right now, as I am recording this all actually happened like a few days ago. So this is all really recent. And I just thought that it would be, it would be important for me to talk about this and make a video on it, because I feel like there are a lot of people that like struggle with this sort of thing, and I feel like it'd be good for a lot of people to hear this story. And another thing that I wanted to mention before I start the video was that I'm probably not gonna I'm not gonna get through all of it, this whole story in one video, because there's kind of a lot to talk about. So I'm gonna have to make like maybe like a part 2 or just like a several part videos, just discussing just the problem of like suicide and my personal experience, because really it's like impossible. I just can't explain everything all in one video. Like I'm gonna have to make like several videos explaining everything that's been going on, because there's just too much to talk about. But in this video, I just thought that I would briefly, I mean, like really just, really seriously just briefly go over everything that's happened recently. And then in the next few videos, I'm just going to go into more detail about what's been going on. But this is just going to be like a brief overview of what's happened lately. So I'm just going to go ahead and get right into the story, because I don't want to spend too much time introducing this whole thing. I think I'm just going to start off by mentioning that I go to college. I am 19 years old. I'm going to college. I don't know how much longer it's going to stay that way, but right now, as I am making this video, I am still going to college, and I actually have a part-time job at the college. And the other day, this was actually last week, I think it was like last Friday, I was at the college. I was working, I work part-time there, and my shift was about to end. It was getting dark outside, and what happened was like these 2 police officers came into the campus. And mind you, this is a really small campus. There are not a lot of people here. Like this is just like a satellite campus to a much bigger college. Just one of a couple of the satellite campuses. So it's a really small building. I mean, you could probably walk from one end to the other in like maybe like 5 seconds or something. I don't know. I'm just trying to give you just sort of like an idea of how small this place is. So it's just a satellite campus, not very big. I was working at the front desk, and then these police officers, 2, they come in, and at first I don't know what's going on. Like I don't know what's going on. I don't understand why they're here. But as soon as I see them, I think in the back of my head I sort of have like an idea of what's going on, but it doesn't really hit me yet. And I asked them, like, can I help you, I think? I don't remember exactly what everyone said, so I'm just going to try my best to explain, just sort of summarize the idea of what happened. So I think I asked like something like, can I help you? And they say, we want to speak with you. They say something along the lines of, we want to speak with you. And they then say something like we found a gun in your room. And at that moment it hits me, like I realize what's going on now. Like I've been caught, like because I had been considering suicide. And what happened was I stole a gun from a friend of mine, and my intention was to sorry if I'm a little blunt with this, but I just don't know how else to say it, but my intention was to basically just kill myself. That was my plan. And these 2 police officers, they came in and questioned me like, we found a gun in your room. I stole it from a friend of mine, and my intentions were to kill myself. I'd been thinking about it for a while. And they asked me some more questions, and before they go any further, I just they weren't aggressive at this point. They were just questioning me. I mean, of course, this is like a serious situation, so there's a lot of tension in this situation right now. And I asked them, okay, can we talk outside? Because I didn't want the few people that were in this campus to see me with these police, because I didn't want, that reputation on my hands. But so I asked them if I can speak with them outside, and they're like, we can speak in the foyer because it's kind of cold outside, because it's wait, I guess it's not January, it's February now, sorry. It's February, it's cold outside, it's winter. So I asked them, all right, they take me out to the foyer, which is just like, isn't really, very conspicuous, because like the foyer has like glass walls, and people can still see us. So I talked to them, and basically they just questioned me, like, why did you have a gun in your room? And nervously, like, I know I can't escape it now, like I have to tell the truth. So I realized, all right, I'm just gonna come clean and just let them know. And I let them know I say something along the lines of, well, basically, I was gonna commit suicide. And they questioned me, further. It's a serious situation. There's a lot of tension, in the air right now. And basically, they asked me questions like, did you hold the gun to your head, and like, how did you get the gun, and why did you have it? Just questions that you would expect, because it is a really serious situation. And they questioned me for a while, and then like a few minutes go by, and then one of the police officers, they put me in handcuffs, and they say, at this point I was really, really scared. And as soon as they put the handcuffs on me, on the inside I was just terrified. But I'm not very good at like showing my emotions very well. But on the outside, I'm sure they could tell like I'm sure they could see my nervousness, or just at least sense it. But I'm not very good at like visually showing my emotions. But on the inside I was terrified. And as soon as they put the handcuffs on me, when they put the handcuffs on me, what they said was, we're not going to arrest you. We're just going to put these handcuffs on you just so you don't hurt yourself or anybody else. They said something like that. And, they asked me more questions. And again, I'm like terrified on the inside. And while they were putting the handcuffs on me, one of them, the one that I knew, they said, and I don't remember exactly what he said, but he said something like, and if you try to run away or something, I'm going to have to throw you up against the wall. And, at that, I don't remember if that's probably not exactly what he said, but I'm just giving you an idea. He said, if you do something, I don't know, probably run away or resist or something, I'm going to throw you up against the wall. And at that moment, I knew, I was toast, I just don't know how to describe the feeling that I was feeling at this very moment, because I was terrified. And basically, I then asked them, can we step outside? Because we were just in the foyer still. So I asked them, can we go outside? And they're like, yeah, sure, because I didn't want, and I had when they put the handcuffs on me, I made sure to still have like my back turned, away from the people that were inside, because there were a few people inside, and at this point, there were a few people who were starting to wonder what was going on. So I asked them, can we go outside? And they're like, yeah, sure. And, it was, again, it's December, it's cold outside, and I start shivering really badly. And one of them says, you got a coat or something, or are you cold? I don't remember exactly what they said. And my response was, it's okay, I'm not shivering because I'm cold. I was shivering because I was terrified. I wanted to just hide somewhere, but I knew that there was nothing I could do. I was cornered. I had to face the consequences of what I'd done, because I stole a gun and I was going to commit suicide. That was the plan. And it all just went really badly. And so they called an ambulance. And they took me away in an ambulance. So we had to wait outside for like a while, maybe like 15 minutes or so. And then the ambulance comes. They get my stuff. I was just working on homework at the time, when they came in. So they get my stuff, my book bag, my coat, and all that. And they get that, and then they load it onto the ambulance. They put me on the ambulance, asked me some questions. They take my blood pressure and things like that. That thing where they put around your arm, and they like they like pump it up, and I don't know, they do that to me. They do a couple of other things to me, just I don't know. But you know, I was really scared, but I tried to act cool. So they basically they took me to the local hospital, and they kept me there overnight. And the plan that they told me was to take me away to a like to another like mental hospital. They were going to take me to like a mental hospital, and I was going to be there for like, I don't know, anywhere from like a few days to like a week or something, or maybe even longer. I don't know. So while I was in the hospital, they took all my clothes, they took all my stuff. You know, eventually I was allowed, you know, after like an hour or so, I was allowed my phone back, and I did take a few pictures of some of the things that I saw. You know, some of the things I was experiencing. You know, not many pictures, just, you know, there wasn't a whole lot to take pictures of. So I used my phone because I knew I would make a video about this, you know, just to sort of prove that I'm not lying, you know. Like, I'm not just making a video for attention. Like, this actually happened. So, and actually, I think I still have that thing that they put on your wrist in my pocket. Yeah, I do have it in my pocket. So, yeah, I have, I'm not going to face it towards the camera because I don't want people, like, knowing, I don't know, my information on that, like where I live and all that. So I'm just going to wave it in front of the camera, like, yeah, this is the thing that they put on my wrist. You know, when I got there. So they took all my clothes and gave me like a gown, and, you know, the hospital gown, you know, hospital pants and all that. And basically, had me just stay there for the night, and they brought some people in, you know, asked me some questions, asked me my information. You know, every once in a while someone would come in and with like some papers and a pen, and, you know, they would just sit down, ask me questions, like just my medical information and all that. And basically, after a while, they had me spend the night. They were going to ship me away. They were going to take me away to like an actual mental hospital, like that was like several miles away. But and I was thinking a lot of things, I you know, during this time that I was in the hospital. But I'm gonna have to get to that in another video because I don't have time to explain it in this video, because then this video is just gonna be longer. I'm just trying to briefly explain, you know, what happened. So while I was in the hospital, they had me wait there a long time, and they had told me that they were looking for a hospital to take me to. You know, one that had, you know, they were looking for a hospital that had openings for you know, mental hospitals that had openings or something. I don't know, something. I don't know how to explain it. I don't completely understand what was going on. And so they couldn't find any for a while. They were going to take me away immediately to like this one hospital, but they said that there weren't any openings. So they just said that they were just going to keep on looking for a hospital that had openings so they could take me there. And so they had me spend the night because they couldn't find any openings, any like hospitals. And then the next day, you know, by the way, it was extremely boring there. Like, all I had was my phone, and there was a TV in there. You know, I had to watch some TV. I was really bored in there. I'll get to that in another video. But they had me spend the night there, and the next day, like the next afternoon, like they decided to let me go. And I'm not exactly sure what happened, but I think I'm going to have to get to the rest of that in another video. So basically, they let me go, and I come back and to my home, which is here where I'm at right now. I mean, this is my studio. This is where I live, and, you know, this is where they found the gun. And what happened was, you know, I came back home. Like, a friend, you know, a friend like drove me back home, which isn't very far. The hospital is actually only like a few blocks away from here. So I came back home, and you know, I was really glad to be back home. Like, I was glad to be back here on my own bed. Like, but, you know, I was still really scared because I knew, like, I'd really messed up. You know, like So that was basically the story, like just sort of like a really rough, and I mean like a seriously just rough overview of what happened, my suicide story. I'll get into why this all happened like in another video. And I'll just go into more depth into certain things because there are some things that sort of need, explanation, they need more depth to really understand. So I hope this video makes sense to whoever watches it. I'm sure I'm gonna make like a part 2 or something, and maybe like a part 3 or part 4. I don't know, but I'm gonna probably get to that soon. But that's basically what happened. So I guess I'm just gonna end this video right here, and when I have time, I'm just going to go ahead and record the part 2. So see you later.